What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're going over the recent UFC card, UFC Vegas 85, Imavov versus Dolidze. Just wrapped up and I'm going to be going through the entire card, starting with the first prelim, ending with the main event, and giving my reaction and breakdown of every single fight on the card. Starting off with the first prelim, Jamal Pogue versus Thomas Peterson. Fat heavyweights at its finest, unranked blobs of humans, absolute melting pots. I picked Jamal Pogue as an underdog and he got it done by decision. Pretty clearly in my opinion, 2 rounds to 1. One judge gave it 30-27, don't have an issue with that, but yeah. Just some fat heavyweights, His hand speed is actually good, but he got taken down a bit, got beaten up a little bit. Gassed hard, as all heavyweights do. But yeah, Pogue's, hand speed looked solid, but apart from that, there was not much on display other than the absolute abominable physiques of these two athletes, if you can even call them athletes. But we move on to the next fight. Landon Quinones versus Marquel. I picked Landon Quinones also as an underdog here, and he lost. Split decision. No, not split. It was unanimous, which I thought was weird. Personally, I gave it to Quinones watching it live. I thought he won the first and the third round, or first and second, I forget, but he definitely won the first, and in my eyes, he took at least one of the last two. The last two were both close, so I don't hate the decision going to Medeiros. Fact it was unanimous was a little bit weird, but yeah, Quinones, he looked solid. Both of them, it looked a bit iffy. Medeiros had his chin up a lot at times, but he landed some shots. I just don't think he landed much that really did anything. He had a lot of clinch control, I guess, but that really doesn't mean anything. So I personally think should have given it to Quinones, but whatever, I got my pick wrong. It's unfortunate. But yeah, it was a decent fight to start off the card, or to be the second fight on the card. Nothing crazy, like Hakparast Quinones. That's why I picked Quinones in this fight, because he looked like he did pretty well against Hakparast. But in my opinion, again, I think he won, but regardless, whatever, he lost the decision. But we move on to the next fight. Julia Stoliarenko versus Lana Carolina. I picked Stoliarenko here. I thought she was going to be a little bit better than she ended up being. She basically has just displayed herself to be the female version of Paul Craig. And she's shit at fighting. She has an armbar, and that's it. And if the armbar doesn't work, she just gives up and gets punched in the face. And she got TKO'd in the third round. Look, she had her in trouble at the end of the first. She arguably, I didn't check the scorecards because it ended up getting finished. But if it had gone decision, she had a close armbar in the first and a close submission in the second. So if she just survived and, held on to that armbar, even if she hadn't gotten it for the rest of the third round, she arguably could have got like an iffy decision. But she got finished. She got gassed out after the armbar attempt and just got punched. She looked like she twisted her ankle as well and got finished. But tough loss for Stoliarenko. I don't know why she was a favourite in hindsight. I kind of got a bit persuaded by the odds to pick her, but yeah, dumb call. She looked shit. Carolina missed weight like a bitch by 3.5 pounds, so fuck her. But yeah, Stoliarenko, awful female version of Paul Craig, and she's ugly as well. But we move on to the next fight. Yong Lee versus Blake Bilder. I picked Yong Lee to get this one done. I thought he was going to get a finish, but he almost did in the first round. He had Blake Bilder hurt pretty bad, but he ended up going the distance, won a 30-27 decision. Pretty impressive from him. Looked a little bit iffy at sometimes, but he looks like his power was pretty good. He mixes up to the body. Pretty solid stuff from him. So good win from Yong Lee. Blake Bilder looked terrible. I obviously didn't pick him. If you picked Blake Bilder, I'm not sure why. He lost, or he made it competitive with Shane Young, and then he lost to Kyle Nelson. So don't know how you could have picked Blake Bilder, but I picked Yong Lee and he got it done. So good stuff from him. Maybe he can be like a new Korean fighter that does something, but he'll probably lose his next fight. We move on, though, to the next fight. Themba Gorimbo versus Pete Rodriguez. Magumbo got it done in 33 seconds or something, or 31 seconds by knockout against Pete Rodriguez. Gorimbo, good stuff from him. He got a quick KO win. They were swinging a few hands early, and then bang, he just caught him with like an overhand right. And put him out, ground and pound, followed it up and got it done. So great win from him, had a good moment on the mic. A little bit questionable, he said that he was going to be champion by 2024. Just quit yapping, buddy. It's not happening. But you lost AJ Fletcher, little bro. Calm down. The Rock gave you a house, and now you're talking reckless. But anyway, good win from Gorimbo. Looked great. Hopefully he can keep a little bit of a streak going. But we move on to the next fight. Azat Maxim versus Charles Johnson. Maxim looked phenomenal in the first round. He dropped Johnson and almost subbed him. And then in the second and third, he kind of just got outstruck and didn't do a whole lot. Got his back taken as well, so good win from Charles Johnson. He won a unanimous 29-28 decision. Obviously, it was a pretty clear win for Johnson. You could have given the first round to a 10-8 for Maxim, which would have made it a draw, but I've got no issue with a Johnson scorecard. Mr. Padded record, Eastern, hemisphere, Kazakhstani, fucking one of those guys with a padded record. Who could be shocked, That's basically how all of their fight careers go. They fight absolute bums until they get to the UFC, and then if they fight anyone good, they lose. So yeah, if Khabib had fought anyone good in his first few fights, he would have lost, but they padded his record until he was 22-0, and then he finally fought some good opponents. But yeah, that's how all of these guys' careers go. I picked Maxim because he was a massive favourite and he was meant to win, but apparently, you just can't trust someone with a 17-0 record if it hasn't been in actually good promotions. So yeah, good win from Charles Johnson. He called out Joshua Van for UFC 300. I liked the first part of the call out. Not sure about the second, buddy. You fought your last 7 fights in the Apex, little bro. You're not fighting in fucking UFC 300. But I like the Josh Van call out. You can make that happen. Put it in an arena fight night. I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Van get a ranked opponent, but if they do that fight, pretty easy fight to make, so I don't mind it. But we move on to the next fight. Molly McCann versus Diana Belbita. The ugly woman got it done in this fight as predicted. When you're picking a fight between two females, just pick the less attractive one and it'll always work out 95% of the time. Molly McCann got this one done by first round armbar. Crazy how she got first round armbarred in her last fight, looked awful, moves down a weight class to strawweight, gets it done by armbar. I picked her to win like pretty much everyone with a brain. Diana Belbita, she's hot, but apart from that, she doesn't have a whole lot of, attributes going on, just apart from a nice face to look at. Respectfully, of course. But yeah, her striking, she's got no pop on the feet, she's got no strength in the grappling, and Molly McCann just used, the lesbian strength and got her down and subbed her. Crazy. Looked much improved in the grappling, so fair play to Molly McCann. And yeah, I don't think she's going to be some major problem at 115, but I could definitely see her going further than she did at 125, just because, 115 has a lot more, just less aggressively masculine women that know how to grapple. So I think she can definitely beat a couple girls at 115, probably get a ranking soon in her next fight. I wouldn't mind seeing them give her a ranked opponent. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next fight. Charles Radkey, the based one himself, beat Gilbert Urbina by first rounds TKO. Great win from Charles Radkey. I didn't pick him to win just because, he struggled with Blood Diamond in his last fight. So you really got to consider the guys just sometimes aren't at their best and just, give the based one some credit, because Charles Radkey got this one done by brutal first round KO. He dropped him and then he dropped him and then he recovered a bit and then dropped him again and put him away. Somehow didn't get a bonus. He had another interesting post fight speech. He didn't say the FAGGOT word. Didn't get any of those out there, but he did say a lot of swear words, did say a lot of things that I'm sure they weren't too happy with on the mic. But nowhere near as crazy as one of the speeches, later on in the card. But regardless, great win from Radkey. He's saying he's going to be a fucking champion by 2025. What's with these welterweights that are coming off shit performances, getting one win and then thinking they're going to be top contenders? Just I like you, bro. You're based, but just calm down, Radkey. Just maybe beat a few fighters first. How about don't struggle with Blood Diamond in your debut and we can talk about maybe a ranked opponent. But great win from Radkey. Happy that he got it done, even though I got my pick wrong. I don't really care. But we move on to the next fight. Magomed Muroev versus Aleksandar Kizraev. Was nothing to say. It was a no contest, 10 seconds into it, an eye poke. Only interesting thing about this fight was that I found out during it that during his time in Prague, Magomed Muroev engaged in gay porn. So yeah, that was the only thing that I found out about this fight. But apart from that, nothing going on in terms of the action. The only action going on was in Prague when Magomed fucking Muroev was getting his cheeks clapped. But regardless, we move on to the next fight. Natalia Silva versus Viviane Araújo. Silva got it done by decision. She didn't do a whole lot, but she did get it done. 30-27, I think, or 29-28. I forget what the scorecard. I think it was 30-27, but regardless, good win from her. She's flashy and stuff. She throws out some cool kicks and some spinning back kicks, and people think she's fucking Edson Barboza. I did say going into this I was picking her to win, but I did say she was still overrated, and I stand by that. I'm seeing everyone saying Natalia Silva's a problem for this division. Bro, she got held against the cage for 3 minutes for 2 of the rounds. Come on, she's not landing a whole lot of punches, so let's just calm down down on the Natalia Silva hype. She is definitely autistic as fuck as well if you listens to her speech. She was a little bit painful to listen to, I'll be honest. But regardless, she's hot, so I'll let it slide. But we move on to the next fight. Randy Brown versus Muslim Salikov. Randy Brown got it done by first round KO, the first finish of his career in quite a while. Great win from Randy Brown, got it done. Good stuff, impressive win. Got the 1-1-2, just a perfect combination. He looked twice the size of Salikov out there. He was way bigger than him, had the range advantage, the reach, all of that, and he cooked him up and put him away in the first round. So good win from Randy Brown. I wouldn't mind seeing him versus a ranked opponent because at least he's been around for a bit, but I'd say he's got a better chance for a ranked opponent than, Themba Gorimbo and Charles Radkey. But still, good win from Randy Brown. I picked him to win, obviously, by KO, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I picked him by decision, but I had him by KO as a prop bet. Pretty good money, too. So regardless, I got that pick right. And, yeah, fucking hell, I don't know. We move on to the next fight. Not much to say. It was a pretty quick finish. Hanato Moicano versus Drew Dober. The fight itself was solid. Moicano won the first. Dober won the second at the end with damage because he got on top and beat him up. And then in the third round, Dober looked pretty good on the feet, and I was like, he could get this one done. And then he tries to fucking lateral drop or hit some switch on Moicano and mess around in the wrestling exchanges. Ended up on bottom, couldn't get back up. Moicano half guard camped his way to a decision and got it done. Kind of a dead fight, but the post-fight interview brought it up tremendously. He got on the mic. He said about 47 different things, and I understood about 2 of them. He said that his 62-year-old dad's expecting another kid soon. He said that he's going to go home and get his wife pregnant. He said he wants to work for a SWAT team in America and be a police officer. He said he called out MMA Guru and called him a fat pig. What else did he say? He said America's going downhill and it's going to become a third world country. What else did he say? I'm not sure. He shouted out his YouTube channel. He did a whole lot of other stuff. And yeah, it was a great post-fight interview from Hanato Moicano. MMA Guru is very happy about it. I'm expecting a 25-minute reaction video from him in the near future. You can definitely expect that soon because he was stoked about it when he heard that on the mic. He was going off. But yeah, good, solid win for Moicano. At least he gets back in the octagon, gets a win. Drew Dober really could have won that fight if it wasn't for some poor decision-making. I did pick him to win by KO because I thought Moicano would be a bit rusty, and he was cracking him a bit, but Moicano gets it done with the grappling, so fair play though. We move on to the main event. Nassourdine Imavov versus Roman Dolidze. I picked Imavov to school Roman Dolidze and win 50-45. Or get like a late TKO, and I was pretty close at points. Like, he was really beating up Roman Dolidze the whole time. In my opinion, he won every round. He got a point deducted for an illegal kick to the head, which shouldn't be illegal. I think I might make a video about that again. I know I'm saying a fucking broken record, like it's been said before, but that rule is so annoying. He had him in a rear body lock behind him, and he threw a kick to his head when he had just his tips of his fingers on the ground of one hand. Like, fuck off. I know by the rules that's illegal, but like, it should not be illegal. So that pissed me off. Then Chris Curtis started running his mouth and yapping in the cage. Herb Dean threatened to disqualify Imavov because he started yelling at Chris Curtis. Pure yapping, but I guess we'll take it back to the start. Imavov smoked him in the first round, was piecing him up, beating him up. Definitely got a 10-8. It landed like 60 to like 5 strikes in the round. Almost finished him. For some reason, Sal D'Amato and Ron McCarthy scored it a fucking 10-9 and didn't give it a 10-8 for Imavov. Retardation. Then, McCarthy scored the second round for Dolidze, even though Imavov was piecing him up again. Dolidze's only success in this fight was just holding him against the fucking fence with literally no offense. He did not land a single impactful strike on Imavov the whole fight. Third round, Imavov was piecing him up. Fourth round, Imavov was piecing him up again, landed the illegal kick, and then Dolidze got a bit of a takedown, got some control time. So, out of any of the rounds, that's the one I would accept a scorecard for Dolidze, but there's no chance to give anything else for Dolidze. I still scored that round 9-9, and it would have been 10-9 Imavov if not for the point deduction. Fifth round, goes out there, beats him up again, does it again, the kick, but this time it was legal because his hand was up. So yeah, fucking hell, they need to fix that rule. You can't like, you can't be in a threatening position and then just decide to put your hands down. Like, if you're on the ground in a grappling exchange, I get it. But if you just decide, if you're in a clinch exchange and you just put your hands down so they can't knee you in the head, that's just fucking retarded, in my opinion. So Imavov schooled him, pieced him up, as I believe I predicted he did. He called out Sean Strickland for a rematch post-fight. I don't know about that. Like, look, I get where it's coming from, but Strickland's a big star now. They're not likely to go back to that kind of well there. I think you do him versus... There's lots of options. You could do the Whittaker-Costa loser, the Vettori Allen loser, Cannonier. You could do the Strickland rematch. There's a lot of options for Imavov. I think he should definitely fight up in the rankings because his only loss recently was to Sean Strickland, who's number 1 ranked. Apart from that, he had the no contest to Chris Curtis. I saw someone saying do the rematch with him and Curtis. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Curtis won a split decision against Marc-Andre Barriault, and Imavov just schooled Roman Dolidze, who's ranked number 8. Chris Curtis arguably shouldn't be ranked. He lost to Gastelum. He lost to Hermansson, lost to Gastelum, was getting tuned up by fucking Imavov, and then he gets a win over Barriault. Like, what are we doing here? Chris Curtis does not deserve to fight a ranked opponent next. Anyway, good stuff from Imavov. Schooled him, beat him up badly. Dolidze's shit, as I predicted. But Imavov looked great. I still think he's one of the better fighters at middleweight. I would go as far to say almost top 5. Like, I think Dricus, Strickland, Izzy, Cannonier, Hamzat, and then I think Imavov's right there, to be honest. I think he's just outside that spot. Him, Brandon Allen, those kind of guys, Cannonier, are all in that same sort of level, in my opinion. I'd like to see him tested in his next fight. As for Roman Dolidze, fuck him. He can go fight the winner of Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. If Kopylov wins, you can do Roman Kopylov versus Roman Dolidze for the superior Roman. And yeah, that's the card, guys. It was a pretty solid event. It was actually a mid-event, but I went 7 out of 12 on picks. Obviously, there was one no contest, which I thought I would have got right. A couple close decisions in there, a couple dumb decision-making, but yeah, decent card overall. I'll see you guys in the next video for the next fights to make and some other videos coming soon, but peace out, everybody. See ya.